everybody! I'm sorry this video has taken so long to make. It is finally the time for the grand reveal. Don't worry, it's not that bad. I realised that maybe appearing with a hat probably makes it seem like I made a disaster and I'm just trying to hide it. No, I'm trying to hide it so as not to spoil the results. Chances are if you followed me on Instagram you might have already seen the story when I posted it a couple of weeks ago. I didn't get around to making a video because basically I cut my hair, immediately went to the UK to do some filming jobs, then I had 2 days to get ready for an extremely international move. So I've moved countries, no, continents. I've moved from the UK to Spain to Malaysia. And then I basically spent the first week here just settling in, trying to find an apartment. I'm not 100% settled in yet, but this is actually the first day that there are people coming into the apartment and that I've got a bit of time to just sit down by myself and there's not a ton of noise from traffic outside. So the hair now has been here for a couple of weeks. It's not quite as pretty as, you know, how it was done by the hairdressers. But, you know, I said I would tell you about the grand reveal, so here is the grand reveal. This is so much more melodramatic than I think it should be. Also, there are going to be some disappointed people, I think, because I know there have been a lot of people in the comments saying, oh, please post the whole video. I want to say I wasn't actually planning on posting the video of the haircut for quite a few reasons. But also there have been a few people who've ruined the fun for everyone else and they've said, oh nice, we'll pay you some money to watch the video of the haircut. And if you overheard me earlier, I just said that I've moved countries. Even though the cost of living is a little bit cheaper here than when I came from, the cost of moving is really high. So right now I'm pretty much like, I'm gonna take all I can get. So yeah, I'm gonna tell you about the haircut, but if you're here to watch some action, I'm sorry, but I am not falling for it. So yeah, basically, I knew that when I finished my PhD, I wanted to cut my hair off. I've actually had, I think people when they saw me with long hair, they thought I'd been growing my hair long all of my life. That is not true. I grew it for about 9 years, but before that I had it short for many, many years, and I really liked having it short. It didn't always suit me, but it was very comfortable. I'm kind of a creature of comfort, and I just enjoy the freedom of not having hair everywhere. I will say that since it's gone, I've actually missed it way less than I thought I would, by which I mean I've not missed it at all. I was cold one day and I thought it would be handy to have it to wrap around me, but that's it. Anyway, even though I'm not going to post the video, I will put a few photos and I'm going to tell you a little bit about how the process went. I didn't want to traumatize the hairdressers because whenever I've gone to a hairdresser's with long hair, which is not very often, although people always say, oh, watch out with hairdressers, they always want to cut off more than you want, I've had the opposite. I've had hairdressers who don't want to touch my hair and who are actually very worried when I come into the hairdressers with such long hair. They think I'm going to come to cut it. And they very much say, like, oh, no, don't cut it, I don't want to cut it. Not saying the hairdressers I went to would have necessarily been like that, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to avoid, if that is something that they would feel sad about, I was going to cut the hair beforehand anyway, and that way I had control over how that was done. So basically the day before, it was put first into a ponytail, then that ponytail was braided, and there was some cable ties, so all of the hair is packed tightly together so it can be used for making a wig. And yeah, it was just cut off. Wow, it's so light! Wow, oh my god, that's heavy.
Amazing.
This isn't the finished result. I cut the plait off today and I'm going to a hairdresser properly tomorrow because this only... The volume more or less looks okay when it's like this, but there's a lot. But I actually really, really like it. I have zero regrets. I'm so, so happy that I finally cut it. It actually looked surprisingly good as soon as it was cut off, just like that. I genuinely was surprised by how good it looked. I mean, it was styled a little bit, so it was kind of bob-shaped. Granted, there was a ton of volume at the back, so I did have to go to a hairdresser the next day to do that because it looked really good from some angles, and then from others it was already starting to balloon or do a pyramid shape. But I was already really happy once it was gone. So yeah, also, here's a question for you. I want to know how much you think the plait weighed. I'm really curious to see whether people actually know how much hair weighs and if people are actually good at guessing it. So if you want to play this game, down below there's going to be a link to a Google Forms. I want you to go there and submit the weight that you think the hair was. And it's for a little science experiment. So please do that. I would love to know what you think. Anyway, the next day, still super happy with the nice short hair. I went to my favourite hairdressers in Seville. I say favourite hairdressers, I've not been to that many, but I've been to that hairdresser before with short hair, and they did such a great job that I didn't have to cut my hair in a whole year, and it looked perfect the whole time. My hair's very finicky. When it's short, it's very easy for it to, buff up. So I went to Jongueras. Well, they first of all looked a little bit like, well, what's happened? So I explained that I'd cut my hair. They weren't too happy about that. They said you should have just come here for us to do it. But I was still happy with the way I chose to go about things. So first of all, they took out a ton of volume at the back. They styled it a little bit. And I really wanted to have some colour put in. I actually asked for pastel pink dip dye, but they said that actually they thought highlights would look better. So I was like, okay, whatever, I'll trust them. At first they did these, so after they'd done all the cut, they took these little strands and they put bleach on it. It was 20 volume, and I think they had it on for half an hour. And when they washed it out, at first I wasn't too convinced by it. They were just like these little tiny tendrils. I think it was pretty much white. I didn't take any photos because at that point I was starting to feel not too sure about whether this was a good decision or not. Ooh, there's a really big wasp outside. Oh, it's gone away. It's really big. Anyway, so they put on the colour on top, and that waited for another half hour, and then they washed it out. And I have to say, at first I wasn't too sure, but it grew on me super fast. Like, I think it was just very much the change. I was still probably quite used to seeing myself with like really long hair and no hair dye. I really liked how it looked, so this is what it looked like in all of its glory. I made sure to take a lot of photos because I know that hair dye actually fades pretty fast, and I knew I was going to move to a country that's extremely humid, and I'd probably be doing lots of swimming and probably be washing my hair a lot more frequently, so I don't have high expectations of the colour staying in for very long. I mean, I might replenish it, but it always looks good the first few days. So now you've seen the pictures, you can see what it looks like now. I washed it this morning. I don't have a hairdryer here yet, so I've been trying to do my best to keep it straight, because if I leave it to its own devices, it will really expand. But actually wearing this hat does a very good job at keeping things in check. And also I can finally use this kind of comb, and it will actually go through my hair. So I mean, as you can see, the colour has definitely faded a little bit. I still think it looks good. Actually, one of the good things about having a really vibrant colour is it will fade out through the pastels, and personally I think pinks and purples are some of the best colours to have. They just look good when they fade out. If it's a blue or a green, you have to be very careful, and it requires a lot more maintenance, whereas I think most of the colours these go through looks okay. I mean, yeah, if you look up close, it is a little bit patchy, and there were a few of the hairs that they dyed that they didn't actually put the colour on. It's not a big deal. I think it just looks like I have a blonde highlight, and I do have one or two white hairs, so I can just pretend that all of my white hairs were actually accidentally bleached. Oh yeah, I also forgot to do a tour of the haircut, because I didn't just have volume taken out at the back. I also got myself a little side shave, and I actually kind of want to do the same on the other side, because I still feel when I'm not drying it or brushing it too much, there's still a bit too much volume. And I also got it done at the back too. So I feel like one of these little tactile things for kids, where you can just like play here and at the back. and I can run my hands all the way through, and there's colours and there's different textures. I'm really into it. I love it. I also did this video, it is in a bathroom, but the lighting was very good and it was the day I got it done, so you can have like the nice version of my hair tour here. So anyway, hopefully, I do know that I'm sure a lot of people watching this probably follow me for the long hair, so you probably prefer me with the long hair. I don't care, I am extremely happy with the short hair. I really haven't missed the long hair at all. Like, again, the maximum I missed it was maybe it was cold when I was in Glasgow, and I thought, well, it would have been handy to have it to wrap around. But out here, having no hair has been a blessing. I can dance, I can, you know, shake my head around super fast, and I don't have all of the weight at the back. I think I look younger. I feel it's, you know, taken off all of the years of the PhD that I was growing the hair for. So overall, I have no regrets whatsoever. I actually have way fewer than I thought. I don't know, for some reason I really thought I would maybe miss it on occasions, but the only time that I've subconsciously expected to have my hair is sometimes when I, you know, whip my head down. I do it more gently, thinking that I'm going to have, you know, all the weight at the back. And sometimes when I put my shower cap on to have a shower when I don't want to wash my hair, the first time I very subconsciously tried to put it over my bun first, but there's no bun. So yeah, hopefully you like it. Even if you don't, I don't mind, because guess what? I love it, and I love it so much that my love would cover the love of all of the people in the world. And I'll probably be making some videos here as well about Malaysia, because lots of people always ask me, why did you move here and what's it like out here? And to be honest, I'm quite excited to share that, and also I finally have an apartment all to myself, which means I have many more quiet spaces to actually make videos and hopefully work on far more things. I worry I'll be a bit lonely here at times, but for the most part I like having all of this space to myself. Anyway, I've been waffling for far too long. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one.